Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? It's your boy Demo the Don, aka God Demo. Back in the house again, back in the thing again, doing what I do the best, doing what I do the most. Keep it real. And I told you, I do not care how you feel. And I told you why. And then I'm telling y'all all these stories about who I am, and where I came from. I told y'all about, my God life, my other human lives, what I'm saying, my lives outside of being a human, my other God life. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know. See, I get it, at this point in age, in this day and age, you got a lot of fake people, talking a bunch of stuff about who they are and what they are and where they came from. And, and they ain't really saying nothing. They ain't told you none of the type of stories and details that I'm giving you. And, it's like, I told y'all, it's like that where, we can change. We can be better. We can be different than we were before. We don't have to always remain aggravated over things that we can't control and things that are of our control that we let slip out of our control. Because when you sit there and you let so many things slip out of control, that it seems like life is spinning you around. So let me reintroduce myself. I told you. You gave the white guy, the white T guy, the name of Bozo, but he wasn't Bozo, now was he? I am the real Bozo. See, the whole thing about the real Bozo is when I moved on from here, I became a whole nother person. Because you have to think about it. I spent a whole lot of years teaching kids how to be better people, and the adults were the ones who were telling them to not be a better person because they wanted them to be selfish and inconsiderate. Could you imagine how I felt? Imagine Mr. Rogers teaching you all of that good stuff. Mr. Crockett, by the way. Could you imagine Mr. Rogers teaching good children all that good stuff? How to be a better person, and they're being better than the adults, and the adults are getting jealous because they're better people. They have more sense in their head. They get along better. It just didn't make any sense. It really didn't. And then I was like, well, maybe if I start to talk to some of these adults and get them to understand, they'll understand. But no, they just won't understand. And I was just like, wow. How can you be proud of who you are if you can't even control yourself and your children can control themselves better than you? Because they listen. See, children are different from grown-ups, which grown-ups are children too. They're just grown-up children. And I try to explain this to people all the time because they don't understand that the Violator is the real Bozo the Clown, who is Pennywise, who is Lord Yashin, Pennywise, the Violator. See, some of you may have had this vision or dream, or you might have seen like a little insert where there was a clown guy who was a Koski. It was their true leader. And I'm the leader of the G.I. Joe, American hero. Where do you think they got the whole idea of knowing is half the battle? Because Bozo, the real Bozo the Clown, that's what he was about. Knowing is half the battle. And sometimes you go against people, not everything's a fight. But when you do fight, you should know who you're fighting against. And that's real. And that is real, kids. There is no way I can just play around like this. This is these voices, these demeanors, this everything that I am. This is not an act. This is just me just telling you who I am and being real with you. You see, because you don't understand what real looks like, and so sometimes you hide who you really are. And I swear I couldn't make this stuff up. But, it is what it is. And, as Bozo, the Clown, Pennywise, Lord Yashin Pennywise, the Violator, the guy who trained Spawn. See, you heard the voice, and sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling at that time, I might bring out another demeanor. And see, because I'm in control of myself, I usually just use my regular voice all the time. Just my regular old regular voice. And because of that, you don't realize that you're talking to the real Bozo the Clown. And I really don't mind entertaining the kids. Everybody knows this. I love the kids. It's just that the parents don't deserve the kids all the time. And, it's not fair for them to have to go through so much trauma because someone came through and foo-fopped their parents and dirty booted them. And now they look like Swiss cheese. That is not okay. That is not okay for a child to have to live through that. So, why not just get rid of the child and make the adult deal with it? Or the grown-up, I mean. Because just because you had a kid doesn't mean that you deserve that kid. Just because you go to work every day to provide for their kids, so you say. But you're really just doing what you're supposed to damn do. You providing for that kid is making sure that kid has a future. If that kid doesn't have a future, then, what are you doing for that kid for real? It's sad. It really is sad how, Bozo the Clown, the Violator, had to come here and tell you everything and then let you know that, everybody can change. Not everybody has to be so rude and mean and just aggressive and volatile all the time. Come on now, I am the Violator. You think I don't want to be volatile? It is a passion of mine. It is my thing. Bozo the Clown, the real one. I don't understand, why is it that, it's real hard for you to understand that, it's not a game. It really isn't. And, it's one of those situations where, you have to reintroduce yourself sometimes and let a person know who you really are. And, it's a shame because those who close to me, they kind of should have understood something. Because they know that when they're dealing with me, how irrational I get just because. And you said something? You said what? And they know I'm always listening. They know I'm always... Mr. Crockett always listens. Always. So, you just didn't understand that Mr. Crockett was Bozo the Clown, who was Lord Jasheen Pennywise, the Violator, and the guy who trained Spawn. It's okay. It's okay. The delusion was, we can't let these people be black people because, we can't give black people shit. They don't appreciate nothing, so why would we give them anything? And, even though the guy deserved it, and he wasn't like the regular guys, and maybe they could have found somebody to, kind of look up to and stop being the way they were, but then again, they still didn't understand. And because Bozo the Clown tried time and time and time again, and they still don't listen, even in the end. I love you. We love you. Stop forgetting it. Stop messing over that love. Fighting for image. It's not worth it. For real. It's really not worth all that abuse and trauma and things that you got to go through for an image that you're fighting for. And you messing up love over it. Fighting for that image. Live for peace. Enjoy people, respect people, respect the world you live in, respect the things that's going on. Because you paid your phone bill, your electric bill, your water bill, pay your attention bill. So many things pass by your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your hands, your everything. And if you don't pay attention to it, some things are going to go wrong. Some things are going to happen that's bad because you're not aware of your surroundings. You're not aware of your environment, so just keeping it real out there, and because inconsideration is the root of all evil. That's thoughtless and careless. And, ignorance ain't bliss. For real. It's better because knowing is half the battle. And when you know better, you do better. And truthfully, knowledge is power. Okay? What's up, Doc? Don't feed the ops.